What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Pokemon Masters. So today we're talking about the very special event that people have been waiting for a very long time, and that is the return of Mewtwo in the Lurking Shadow event versus Giovanni. So you can obviously get Mewtwo by collecting 800 of the vouchers. You unlock a map for this a questionable alliance that lets you get Mewtwo, and then just like all the other legendaries, you unlock like his level ups and his skills and stuff and his passives with these items through the exchange. You can also maximize his level, like his potential level, with these tickets, and you can max his sync attack, which you're gonna want to get at least 3 of. You don't have to go all the way to 5 if you don't want to, although I would because he's really good. But you don't have to because 3 is where the sync grid is going to cut off. So that's my recommendation, at least, is to get him to 5. And I would also get him to 20 out of 20 because, again, there's really no reason not to. There's nothing holding you back except the amount of time you're willing to put in. The grind is a little bit heavy, but you got 16 days. You can get it done. And then you can also do what people have been talking about on Twitter for ages, and that is the Strike Drink Stock Up. Okay? So you can see right here, you got 100 of these custom Super Voucher 1s, gets you 50 of these. So you can just, as you play, you can pile them on. It gets you even more golds. You get 50 for 20 of the vouchers. You get what is custom voucher 1. You get both of these from playing the event. So you can get them for all the rarities. And as you can see, there is no cap. So you see up here, exchange 0 of 1. So it's capped off. No cap. You can get as many of them as you want. There is no limit. This is the big one. 5 vouchers trades for 10 level up manuals. So like, look at this. Right there. That's 930 level up manuals. And all I've done from the event is just my bonus matches for the day, and you can get basically 1,000. So if you don't care about fully maximizing Giovanni, you can get 1,000 of these a day for 16 days. I think you'll hit the limit. I'm assuming the limit is 9,999. I don't know how true that is or not, but like, it's good. It's really good. It's a great way to make sure that you're fully like maximizing your strike sync pairs, and this is good uh, because basically all the ones you need to get to 120 are strikes. Like, it's nice to have your supports at 120. You really don't have to have them there though, just because of what they're doing. They're mostly just buffing your attackers who actually really need the stats. The main reason to up a support sync pairs to 120 is defenses, so they don't die quite as easily while they're tanking hits for your main guy. So we're going to go in, and we'll just take on one of these fights. We'll talk about some Pokemon that you want to use in single-player fights. You can basically use anybody. I'll just use my red team. I'm pretty sure you can smoke single-player with just about anybody. I don't actually remember who I fought them with. I probably used Karen or something, but we'll talk about good Pokemon for the actual end-game variant here when we get there. So we're Breathtaking on the Charizard. And the best part is that Rotom is pulling all this aggro. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh no, they killed Rotom. How could they? Alright, it's time to pop off. Yeah, okay, you can definitely clear this with red. Can definitely clear this with red, no problem. Easy peasy. So yeah, there's really nothing to single player. Let's get into the nitty gritty, which is co-op. So, first of all, some people haven't done a co-op farming event for a legendary before because you guys just came back. This super hard thing, it has no, can I see the rewards? I guess I can't. It has no, what am I saying? No vouchers drop from this. It only drops 3 of the highest tier sodas, and the very first time it drops 300 gems. There's literally you only need to do this fight one time to get the gems, because 300 is a pretty good amount. It's a free single summon. Um, Otherwise, you have no reason to do super hard mode. You're always going to farm either hard or very hard based on which one's faster. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not 100% sure which one's faster right now. I always just default to the very hard version. But it's possible that the hard version is just quicker because there's less crap you have to deal with. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go... This is the team that I usually use, but this is the wrong order. I have it switched up because of... because I was doing my lower difficulty. So we're going to swap Grimsley and Karen. And the only reason I use, what's his face in the middle? Phoebe is just to pass crit, but if you don't want to use her, there's other options. So, in fact, let's talk about the good options for each slot before we even go in. So Grimsley is really good for this battle, specifically because of Snatch. So the highest difficulty Mewtwo has an ability where Giovanni basically maxes the attack stats of everyone. And so what this does is it returns the target's raise stat to normal and then raises the user's stats by that amount. So literally after Giovanni maxes everybody, you can just target Mewtwo with this, pull all the buffs off of Mewtwo onto Liepard, and then you can start attacking with Liepard. And it basically acts as both a dispel and a buff, which is really good. Karen, of course, is really good. She's basically your primary damage dealer. She's got a Mega Form. She's got Dark Pulse when she transforms, does a crazy amount of damage. She's basically able to maximize her own offensive stats with Dire Hit and Entertain Me. She can buff her special attack and her crit pretty much completely to max on her own. And Snarl is a really good spammable skill in this fight just because it lowers the special attack at the targets. So as you're hitting Mewtwo with this, his attacks are going to be doing less and less damage to you, especially after you've dispelled him with Liepard. Phoebe is here just as a general passer. She's the buff passers are good for everything. But some other generic Pokemon that are really good in this specific fight is... Where are you? You're probably way at the bottom because I never use you. There he is. Cryogonal. This guy's actually really good for this fight because one of the skills that I don't have because I've never invested in him is Haze. And what Haze does is it wipes out the attack and defense, all the buffs of the entire enemy party. So it's a little bit different than what Liepard does because one, Cryogonal is not an offensive threat. So if you like when you have Liepard out and you steal those buffs, you can actually attack with him. With Cryogonal, you can't do that. You haze and then you're out. But the advantage that it has over Liepard is that Liepard can only use Snatch on one target at a time, and it can only use it twice. So it can't even wipe the full field even if it wanted to. But what it can do, what Cryogonal can do, is it has to use Haze one time, and it wipes the entire field of buffs. So it's a better Dispeller in exchange for being worse at everything else. I prefer Liepard, just because I want to be able to attack. It's up to you, though, if you don't, or you want to use him for whatever reason. Other than that, you can use some generic attackers. I've seen people say that they swept it with Red. The only reason I don't love Red in this fight is because you cut your own defenses by 2, and there's an enemy Soul Rock that gets buffed by Giovanni to max out its attack stats, and it just starts chucking super-powered Rock-type attacks, and it does a lot of damage to Charizard really fast. So you pretty much need like a Haze user if you're going to do that. You can run Elisa and Rotom. She's pretty much good in everything. It's not even really like necessarily worth mentioning that you should bring her just because she's the best support in the game. She's really dumb. Those are the only 2 real dark types. So like they're the only super effective. I mean, you got this guy right here with his Alolan Persian, who's actually not that bad. I just don't build him because I have the 2 gotcha dark types. You can use him in this though if you're in need of one. Let's go ahead and just fight this guy one time. Another Grimsley and a Karen. So the fight, this is actually nice because with 2 Grimsley, we'll be able to nuke the entire board of all the buffs when Giovanni drops them. So yeah, see the Soul Rock over there on the side? That dude spams the hell out of, I think it's Rock Tomb. You do not want to get hit by Rock Tomb, let me tell you. Alright, so he's buffing everybody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snatch those buffs right off of him. Right onto mine. So you see I got crit 1 and both my attack stats are fully maxed out. So it looks like he's going to snatch as well. Hopefully he snatches the right thing. Who'd you snatch? He snatched. Oh, he snatched the Lunatone. I don't love that. I would have preferred that he snatched the, because you can see how much damage that's doing from that Soul Rock. I would have preferred he snatched the Soul Rock. I guess I can if I have to. I don't really want to, but I can. Night Slash does a lot more damage than Dark Pulse when you're using Live Hard. Please don't use Dark Pulse. It's really weak for some reason. I guess his special attack stats just not very good. And the flinch is not really relevant in this fight because most bosses you'll find don't flinch very easily. I'm going to go ahead and snatch the buffs off of the Lunatone. Looks like he kept... Oh, no, there you go. Okay. It was just taking a really long time for them to fall off. So here comes the Dark Unity attack. I'm going to leave Grimsley in because he's nice and buffed. That's a dead Soul Rock. Nice and easy. Look at this. Look how clean this is. Just brutal. The dark types that they put in for this are just so good. I feel like Grimsley was specifically built to counter this fight because nobody else can maximize their attack like that for free. Yeah, look at that. Done already. Dark types are just way too good for this. Grimsley literally feels like a Mewtwo counter pick, and Karen is just so strong. Karen is, in my opinion, one of the best special... It's like her and Blue are like the best special attacking sync pairs in the game. Both incredible. And they combine to just obliterate Mewtwo. So this is what a non-bonus run is going to look like. So you're getting about 30. They tend to vary. I don't know exactly what determines how much variance it is. Like, you're not always going to get 29 of these. You'll probably get anywhere from like 29 to 32-ish around there, plus or minus. Don't know what determines it. Same with these. And then with a bonus run, you'll get over 100 of both. You get a lot of both. And then you can just swing in here, buy whatever you need, and then get back to the actions. How much do I have? 495, so I can almost get another sync level for him. This is definitely autoable, by the way. Especially, like, you saw the team that I just used. There was no reason for me to even be paying attention, to be honest. You can definitely auto this just to farm it, if that's your cup of tea. Some people don't like to auto. I usually don't like to auto unless, you know, I'm just tired of the grind, because I like playing the stages. I enjoy the gameplay. But some people do like to auto, which is fine. I don't care. I will definitely start autoing it once the novelty of fighting Mewtwo wears off. These are probably going to be the grindiest events in the game, having to do this, but I think you'll find that it's not that bad of a grind because you can pretty much just auto and do something else. If you're going to bring specific debuff Pokemon, like Liepard and like Cryogonal, maybe don't auto. Because you want to make sure that you're hitting the right targets with those. Like, if you're snatching the side Pokemon and not Mewtwo because the AI is just dumb, you're not helping anybody. Or if your Cryogonal is coming in and buffing itself and not using Haze, you're not helping anybody. So, you know, just make sure that if you're going to bring Pokemon that pretty much require a human hand to make sure they're making the right moves, you don't just auto. If you're gonna auto, please just let, like, your Karen come in and do the fighting, if you have her. Or even your Meowth. Or your Persian, sorry. Just make sure that you're autoing with a team that can auto. Or if you're autoing with, like, Red, you know, just pay attention that he's not getting obliterated by Soul Rock and your AI is just leaving him there to die. But other than that, the fight's not super difficult. And this event is going to be how you're going to start stacking up your stuff to really awaken all your strike sync pairs. Max their level cap at 120, max their levels out super quick. This is where all your resources are going to start coming in. So anyway, that was just a quick taste. Can't speak. Feel free to ask me any questions you have on Twitter about this. I'm going to try to figure out which one is specifically faster between... Obviously, hard is going to be faster than very hard, but if the drop-off in tickets is enough to offset the time, it's not worth it. Because you saw how easy very hard was. I'll try to figure that out, and I'll tweet it out to everybody if it's which one's best, which one's not. So feel free to keep an eye on that there, and if you have any questions about it, you can obviously ask me in the comments, or you can ask me on Twitter. It doesn't make a difference to me. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the Mewtwo event. I hope you farm up your Mewtwo's. Mewtwo is extremely top tier. I should probably say that before I sign off. Mewtwo is one of the best sync pairs in the game, so do make sure to put as much effort into him as you possibly can, or as you are possibly willing to, I guess. And I will see you guys next time. If this was helpful, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe, click the little bell, do whatever you got to do to make sure that you're getting all this information. All right, guys. Thank you. See ya. Bye.